Welcome in to the SicEm365 radio postgame show. Paul, Catalina, Brian Etheridge with you, and we do apologize. We had to restart our main computer, and I realized that none of you are watching right now on YouTube. Because we are lit. Here we go. All right. Once you got the alerts, you started watching on YouTube. Paul, Catalina, Brian Etheridge with you. Baylor rolls over Albany, and guess what? I almost forgot what the final score was because we've been dealing with the computer for so long. It was starting to drive me a little bit insane. But Baylor wins over Albany 69-10. And Brian, we will not. I'll just tell you right now, we will not be able to take calls because computers are stupid, and whoever invented them is an idiot, and they're mean, and I don't like them. So we will take your texts at 254-339-1122, 254-339-1122, because we have got all kind of wonkiness going on with the computer right now. So Baylor rolls past Albany. This is not a surprise.
No.
Everything that you saw was pretty good. I can't imagine a negative that somebody would glean from this game other than maybe some individual guys weren't as ready to play or made some mistakes. But overall, we saw everything we wanted to see tonight from Baylor, Brian.
The only thing that we didn't see was just some sloppy play on the O-line to start the game, and Blake Shapen taking some hits that we didn't expect him to see happen. But he was 17-20 in the game, so when he wasn't getting knocked down there in the first half, he was hitting his receivers in stride. And I mean, obviously, going over the top with Presley and Baldwin. It was really good to see, and it was a little bit of what you're going to see in the offense, a little bit more of what we expect to see in this offense this year. The numbers weren't gaudy. I mean, for him, 214 yards through the air. But again, when you throw 17-20, it's very similar to what he did in the Big 12 championship game, where he protected the ball, kept it out there, and kept it moving down the field. Yeah,
it was really good all the way around. I love the potential that this offense has with Blake Shapen. I'm not trying to knock Gary Bohannon here, but even talking to the coaches when we got to meet him last week, you got a sense of things are going to be different because of what Blake can do. And look, Jeff Grimes kind of compares him very favorably to Zach Wilson in the. I don't think he's got a great arm. Don't get me wrong. He's got a fantastic arm. There are like maybe 20 people on earth that have arms like Zach Wilson, like as far as the guy can stand at the 10-yard and probably hit the other 10-yard line.
Yeah.
I don't think Blake can quite do that. But as far as the confidence and his ability to know that he can make some throws that he probably shouldn't make but can, which is something you like. That Gary Bohannon didn't have that.
Well, he's also going to try. Different. He's just going to try them.
Yeah, he's going to try them. He's got that swagger about him, so he can throw those. So he had a throw against the grain to Ben Sims on like an 8-yard gain in the first quarter that I promise you that they will sit him down and say, "Good job. Don't do that against BYU."
It was
don't like. I know we got 9 yards on that. We'll get 12 on the next play against BYU if you just, run out of bounds and get a yard. Like that's what he did. So there's those things, but it opens up the offense to a whole new thing. Tay McWilliams, I thought, looked really good.
Yep.
The new skill position players was the biggest question that this offense has. And so far, 1 for 1. Monterey Baldwin, he picked up where he left off in the Sugar Bowl.
Yes.
Hal Presley looked really good. Squirrel Williams got in and played a little bit. I feel like they're treating him a little bit like Cameron's dad's car in Ferris Bueller, where they're a little afraid to drive it. Like right now, Squirrel is just like, up and down the street in the driveway, and they rub him with a diaper. But I think that as the weeks go on, they will use him more. Plus, I also think that you roll Squirrel out so he can get some reps, but you don't need to risk it against Albany.
No.
Playing him a lot. Now, against BYU, you might want to play him more because you're going to need all the playmakers you can get. Not to mention, I think maybe the most heartwarming story of the night was Gavin Holmes.
Correct.
And this is a dude, a 6th-year senior who has been through the ringer when it comes to injuries. Had that punt return. Doesn't look like he's ever been injured based on that punt return. Looked really good. I don't see anything that we can really criticize about this game tonight.
I think that the one thing that stuck out today in this game is the team speed. up and down the roster on offense, especially. You saw, Richard Reese comes in. We haven't seen him first game. Electric. We know Squirrel's electric. Gavin Holmes looked electric. Jordan Neighbors looked electric. So, again, it is against Albany. So you are out-athleting them across the board. But there were things I saw in some of those players, like Jordan Neighbors, and I even said it to you, Corey Coleman 2.0. He looked like it. He looks like him running around out there. He looks like it returning the ball. And then but you get a Gavin Holmes out where he's going to be, getting a punt return for a touchdown. Who called that in the bingo card? No one.
Yeah.
And he looked natural doing it. And we got to go back to where he was a freshman when he got his knee blown out the first time. He was having a great freshman season there in 2017 and he was like a highlight there toward the end until that injury. And then he had another injury and then another injury. So he's gone through all those injuries where he's broken his foot. He's had his ACL. He's had another ACL. And then he goes out there and returns a punt for a touchdown, and it just looked great.
Yeah.
And I think that receiver room, even though it's inexperienced, is deep, and it is going to cause problems for certain defensive coordinators. There's nobody you can just say, okay, we're going to guard this guy.
Yeah,
no.
we kind of saw something from everybody in the receiving corps tonight. Whether it was, Hal Presley with the touchdown, we saw, obviously Monterey Baldwin, Jalen Ellis had a 50-yard catch. Not surprising to see Ben Sims and Drake Dabney both contributing a little bit. Dabney had that one really long catch for 29 yards in the game, and Seth Jones 2 catches in the game, we haven't seen Seth Jones at all.
No.
At all this year. So
he had a couple drops. So that's something that he's had 6 targets and caught 3 of them. So that's something maybe to work on. There's going to be plenty of film they can go back and go, it's a little sloppy there. They can work on these things. O-line, especially in the first half.
Look, Blake Shapen was 17 to 20. Yeah. One of those was a Seth Jones drop for sure.
Correct.
So, and then one of them was a throwaway. And
then the other was the one he floated over the top of Quaylen Jones. That would have gone for who knows what.
Yeah.
He just short-armed it.
So you saw everything you wanted to see tonight. And I think that's good. All right. Let's see. From the 720, I know it's only Albany, but Drones looks good. I'm not worried about a drop-off when Shapen misses time. And we'll see him against a team that's doing more and isn't already, got both feet in the grave for that game. From Brandon on the text line, 254-339-1122. What do you think of the right side of the O-line? What was going on there? Yeah, Gavin Byers didn't have the best game tonight. And we'll see that they do feel, I had all those guys in here doing interviews early in the year. They feel genuinely top to bottom that they've got 9 guys who can play. And they that's the guys. I think the coaches would tell you they've had 8 guys that they feel confident in, and the 9th guy hasn't played that much yet. But I think that might be Miley that they like a lot, but he hasn't played yet.
They like Timothy Dawn a ton.
Yeah.
And he came in there at center, second string center, and that's somebody that's we put that out in the fro, 2 weeks ago, and that kid's going to be legit.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what they do particularly with the guards, because I think Micah Mazuka really is your one of your best options at guard.
Yes.
And I think they probably need to leave him in there. Mose Jeffrey played a little bit. Mose is good, but I think that maybe Mike is probably better. And they'll do that. But that was what this game was. And we didn't really see much. They didn't really do much or show what they're going to do against BYU. And they kind of have to keep things a little closer to the vest because these 2 coaching staffs know each other pretty well because they played last year, and part of the Baylor coaching staff came from the BYU staff.
Right.
So there are things that they are going to have to, keep close to the vest until next week. So we didn't see much.
No.
And let's see. O-line has some work. Defense will need some field training in the secondary. It's from Patrick. I like both the running backs. Jones and Reese ran well. Paxton says, going to bed. Paul eating potato skins. Peps. I don't know. So let's see.
Paul's had a long day. So I've been up since 6:30, getting the tailgate ready, and then worked that tailgate for 8 hours. And now you've been in Odessa, back to Waco, do a pregame, postgame. Yeah, long day for everybody.
Jimmy B says Paul Catalina's biggest fan. Yes, thank you. I appreciate Jimmy B. You and I, buddy, we're going together. Let's see. Hey, Pac-10, how was your weekend? Yeah, it's been a little rough for the Pac-10. I don't know if the Pac-10 had a worse weekend or the ACC had to white knuckle through some games today and even lost one last night when Virginia Tech dropped to ODU. Look, I can say a lot of things about a lot of conferences, Brian, but I can say this unequivocally. The Big 12 would never schedule a weekend full of road games in the AAC.
No.
They would not do that.
No.
Now, if you look at the schools that are doing it, they're not exactly Miami, Florida State, and Clemson, the ones that have won national titles in the ACC. But it's North Carolina. North Carolina at a 40-point fourth quarter they gave up to App State today. So there's a lot going on there.
I mean, you got a shocker here, Louisville just taking it from Syracuse. Yeah. I mean, 31-7. I mean, Louisville's head coach. I mean, they got these guys, these 5-stars committed, but whoa.
Well, Louisville's head coach is probably not going to be their head coach at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Syracuse's head coach might not be their head coach at the end of the year.
If he's dropping Louisville like this, he might. You never know.
Yeah. I might have to do a top 5 on the hot seat. I will, you know what, for the people we have watching, I will go into the day that David Smoak and I had today. And Smokey on Monday will get to add some details because his didn't get to stop.
No.
Because he had to go get his car.
Poor David.
Smokey had a really, I had a rough one. Smokey had a really, really rough day. So we will get into that in another segment. But so far, so good on what we saw from Baylor. We'll get into some other scores around the country. Ohio State gave Notre Dame all they wanted, but the game isn't 3 quarters long. That fourth quarter kind of got them, but I think Notre Dame gave Ohio State all they wanted. Notre Dame's going to surprise more people. Like if they can hold that offense to 21 points, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, they're going to be fine.
They're going to be okay.
I mean, but looky here, Vanderbilt 2-0 right now, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have 13 games to get those 6 to get into the bowl, right?
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of crazy things going around the college football on week 1. So when we come back, more of your texts, more of your chat room. Sorry, no calls. 254-339-1122. I know the post-game call-in show idea is a little bit shot, but it took us 30 minutes to get on the air today, which we didn't plan on.
And you have me on here, which no one really cares about, so it's all right.
Yeah, but we'll come back. I'll read some of your texts and also talk about my day and let you know what I had to do to get here to even be doing this show. So our computer problems just in line with kind of how the last 48 hours have gone. 254-339-1122. Jacob Wilson producing here from our studios. This is the post-game show. SicEm365 Radio, 365 Sports. Baylor Scott & White, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physicians for Baylor Athletics, diagnosing and treating all sports-related injuries, including concussions. These specialists also provide orthopedic services for athletes and non-athletes alike, whether it's knee or shoulder pain, hand or wrist injuries, orthopedic spine care, and even an arthritis and total joint clinic. Trust the doctors Baylor Athletics trusts. Baylor Scott & White, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics wants to get you back in the game.
Pizza, burgers, and Bears football. There's no place around Waco that serves them all other than Bubba's 33. Come show your green and gold and enjoy some of Waco's best food and beverages while watching your favorite team, the Bears. When real Bears fans get hungry, Bubba's 33 is the #1 spot for ice-cold drinks, hand-stretched, stone-baked pizzas, and bacon-infused burgers. Join us for indoor or patio dining. Bubba's 33, Waco's restaurant and proud supporter of Baylor Bears football. Sick 'em, Bears.
TFNB, your bank for life, is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texas are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Three Nations Brewing Company has 16 different beers on draft with a new beer every Friday. It also offers 2 air-conditioned tap rooms, a large indoor beer hall, a second-floor mezzanine offering a great overview of the brewing company and equipment and patio where you can relax under the shade. Plus, you can now experience the new Three Nations Beer Garden Grill on our shaded patio. Grab a cold beer and enjoy a bite from our freshly prepared and delicious menu. Street tacos, quesadillas, freshly cooked burgers and dogs, and veggie burgers too. Nachos and so much more, all prepared and cooked on site. So come visit the award-winning Three Nations Brewing Company on East Vandergrift off I-35 in Carrollton.
It was broad daylight. I stepped into a gas station for 5 minutes to grab a snack, and just like that, my car was broken into. They made out like a bandit. My laptop, my phone, everything. I called my agent to see what could be done, and he restored my faith in humanity. My claim was processed so quickly, and I was able to recover my losses.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Cars priced right both day and night. Average your car in Texas. Trucks built for you, red, white, and blue. Average your car in Texas. Cars that zoom with lots of room. Average your car in Texas. Count on us, a dealer to trust. Average your car in Waco, Texas.
This is the Baylor Postgame Show on SicEm365 Radio. Brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, TFNB, your bank for life, Richard Carr Buick GMC Cadillac, Three Nations Brewing Company, Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness, Edward Jones Advisors, Ben Erlinson, Tom Albers, Brad Wilson, and Cam Heathcott, and Bubba's 33.
Welcome back into the postgame show. You've been able to see Brian and I talking without knowing. Here's a fun game. When we go to the next break, just lip sync it, bad lip read for it, because that's the kind of day it's been. I think before I read the message, just so people know, because our production value, and we pride ourselves on it, we had a lot. We had the debut with KWTX today, which went really, really well.
Great.
We had no technical issues with that, really. So it's like it was just stored up in a bag to happen when Jacob gets to produce his first postgame show.
Yeah, the moment the new guy gets a rep, everything goes down the drain.
Here's the deal. Jacob's a Marine, so the Marines are trained for when things go terribly wrong. Like he's got survival stuff.
Adapt and overcome.
Exactly. That's I know that's the thing. I've not been the Marines. They would not take me.
I don't think you want to lip read some of the stuff I was saying during the break.
I think like if I went to the Marines, they'd be like, you know what? You know what's good? The merchant Marine. You like boats, right? You like boats.
You like seafood. Get out there. Come on.
We don't need you out there fighting. So let me tell you the last 48 hours. So David Smoak and I had to go to Odessa. Why would you go to Odessa on a Friday night, you ask? Well, we had a broadcast Midway versus Odessa Permian. Now, I will say, on a positive note, going to a game at Permian for football fans is kind of on the bucket list because even though that team is not what they were in Friday Night Lights, they still act like they are as far as the game presentation. There's not a lot of, stupid stuff with them. Sometimes bands do stuff that I don't get. And their band is very, they could be a college band.
Yes.
Like a good college band, not a college band that plays Katy Perry. Like that kind of thing. Katy Perry never wrote a song and said, what would this sound like with just a big guy hitting a drum like this?
With the Mojo band playing behind you, yeah.
But the Mojo band's good. Everything's good. They flickered the lights, so it's great. Well, we decided, because it made more sense, to fly out there. Because we had to get back for this pregame show, and there's a lot of, driving out there. And then part of the reason we decided to fly out there was at the time we didn't realize we didn't know what our plan B was going to be for the talk show on Friday, which Craig and Grayson hosted.
Yep.
But we, again, didn't know that was going to be available, if Grayson could do it. So we had to plan as if we had to go out there and do a talk show and another show, and driving and doing all that stuff was just not going to be feasible. So we fly out there. So we get to Love Field. We walk up to the gate. Flight's delayed eventually 30 minutes. Not a big deal. Kind of happens now. But 30 minutes, you shouldn't really be mad about that.
Yeah.
Get on the runway. Bad weather. They have everybody landing. Everybody's landing on one and taking off on the other, and it's not kind of the flow of traffic. So we were waited for an hour and a half on the runway. Not a big deal. Plenty of time. Don't have to do a show. Get there, rent a car, go to the hotel, get some lunch, relax for a little while. Go to the stadium at 4 o'clock. From about 4:45 until almost 6, there's just a torrential downpour and no lightning. Then at 6:52 p.m., lightning. Delay for about an hour and 10 minutes. We finally do the game. Midway lost 41-20. Get home or get back to the hotel about 12. Go to bed about 1:30. 7:30 this morning, alarm goes off. We were so exhausted, both of us just slept. I mean, I didn't even have to get up to pee, Brian. I had to do that. It was the best night of sleep I've ever had. I know you all want to hear Baylor postgame stuff. They won 69-10.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Against a high school team.
Against Albany. So then you have a text that's 4 hours and 13 minutes old from Southwest saying our flight's been canceled and we've been rebooked at 6 o'clock. Well, the postgame show's at 4 o'clock in Waco. We're in Odessa, which is 5.5, 6 hours as the crow flies from Waco if you're not from Texas.
Yep.
So we've just got to go. So I'm calling Southwest. I cancel my flight. Smokey eventually canceled his. And we're going to have to go to the airport, tell them, make some sort of arrangement with the rental car, and just go. Well, David Smoak is a driver.
Let's just call him let's call him Baby Driver.
Yeah, he's that. He is that. I mean, he just it was, we made up some time. I don't know how much, but we are tooling along in a Volkswagen Tiguan, which is German for POS. And we get to about Albany, and the check oil light flashes.
Nice.
So we are not in a spot in Abilene where there is anything. So we get off, and we're going in the direction the maps are taking us, and that's when you get off of 20. So we just kind of got off of 20.
This is about the time you called me, I think.
Yeah, so called, let you know what was going on. But we had to stop at a Dollar General and check the oil. There's a Dollar General, so we go and we get the oil that we need. We check the oil, and there was just enough to, have a little drip on the bottom of the dipstick. And so we get there, and I have to do 2 quarts of oil. So we were this close to that car not running at all in the worst part of Texas where you could be, where it would be not running.
Yep. You're 2 hours from anywhere.
While we are doing that, I'm taking a picture to send to my fiance about this is where I am. This is what I look like. I was very disheveled. I looked rough. And a bee starts chasing me through this parking lot. And Smokey didn't even notice when he came out to get the other quart of oil. And I was like, I was all frustrated. I was like, there's a bee chasing me, man. So then we get to Hamilton. There's a street festival. We're stuck there for 15 minutes. Almost got killed by a trucker who was mad because we found a way around, and it slowed him down for 6 extra seconds.
So your day, I mean, if the Griswolds could take the trip from Odessa back to Waco, you might be in the Griswold family wagon at that point.
And then we finally got here and did the show. And then our computer flips out when this starts, and we can't get anything to work right. So here's we are. It's just bonkers. So,
but now it's streaming us so in commercials where everybody can watch us and read our lips. But yeah, but back to the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Baylor 574 yards. So at the half, Albany had 141. So Baylor held them to 105 yards in the second half. So the defense stiffened up a little bit. It was good to see that happened. Needed to see it happen because in the first half, Albany quarterback was getting out and making a few runs that is just from gap containment that it wasn't being done by the defensive line and the linebackers. So we have seen the athleticism though of those linebacker core that we didn't see last year. With Will Williams coming in, is a little bit faster. Not saying he's better than Terrell Bernard, not saying that, but you're seeing just a different speed level on the guys that are backing up. in their ability to make up plays, and that's something over time when they get the experience in the defense is watching them react faster and get there even faster. So, I mean, no offense. I mean, love Terrell Bernard, but he was a 4.7 guy while Williams is a 4.5 guy.
Yeah. And
you're seeing that. And he made a play tonight when he got to the quarterback that was very impressive for him. Mm-hmm. But you also saw that come through in Tyrone Brown. Should have had an interception. So this is going to be a really fun team to watch this year.
Yeah.
And do they win the Big 12? Don't know. We don't know anything about that just yet from this game. Next week's going to be a great time. I'm heading out to BYU. It's going to be fun to go out there and cover the team out there during that. But yeah, I'm excited to see how they do against a real opponent here against BYU. BYU will be ranked after their win against South Florida, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
That they gave up some yards to South Florida. So Baylor, it could be a shootout. But they put up all the points they wanted to against South Florida.
Yeah. They did. And it's going to be an interesting game next week. Let's break down that game next and wrap up the scores, and then we'll go home because we need to. And Brian's, it's his birthday, so he needs to go celebrate.
Well, tomorrow's my birthday.
Tomorrow's his birthday.
I'll be driving into Dallas during my birthday.
Yeah. So we'll do that, and that way we can just end the wonkiest postgame show ever. This is SicEm365 Radio, 365 Sports.
If you're out looking for a great selection of new cars and trucks, then shop Allen Samuels in Waco, because we have some of the best deals in Central Texas that will put you in a new vehicle and driving away with confidence. During the Labor Day sales event, you can take your pick, a new 2022 Dodge Charger or Dodge Challenger, and receive 0% for 72 months and no payments for 90 days. If you're a first responder, you get an extra $500 off your purchase. High-quality vehicles from a dealership with a hometown feel. Allen Samuels in Waco.
Did you know that Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness is a partner of the City of Waco? Did you know that we are open to the public? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness offers day passes to the public for only $10 a day, and we offer money-saving memberships. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness offers over 40 group exercise classes each week, including bar, yoga, boot camp, indoor cycling, and more. There are free weights, weight machines, TRX, rowing machines, stationary bikes, new treadmills, elliptical machines, and much more on the spacious weight room floor. Personal training available where you can be encouraged to grow. Sauna, whirlpool, tanning bed, and kids club. 17 tennis courts, 8 pickleball courts, youth and adult tennis and pickleball lessons. Waco's premier experience where you can help your mind, body, and soul. Visit our website at wacotennis.com. Call us at 254-753-7675 or visit us next to Hawaiian Falls on Lakeshore Drive in Waco.
Pizza, burgers, and Bears football. There's no place around Waco that serves them all other than Bubba's 33. Come show your green and gold and enjoy some of Waco's best food and beverages while watching your favorite team, the Bears. When real Bears fans get hungry, Bubba's 33 is the #1 spot for ice-cold drinks, hand-stretched, stone-baked pizzas, and bacon-infused burgers. Join us for indoor or patio dining. Bubba's 33, Waco's restaurant and proud supporter of Baylor Bears football. Sick 'em, Bears.
TFNB, your bank for life, is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texas are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
It was broad daylight. I stepped into a gas station for 5 minutes to grab a snack, and just like that, my car was broken into. They made out like a bandit. My laptop, my phone, everything. I called my agent to see what could be done, and he restored my faith in humanity. My claim was processed so quickly, and I was able to recover my losses.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
This is the Baylor Postgame Show on SicEm365 Radio. Brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, TFNB, your bank for life, Richard Carr Buick GMC Cadillac, Three Nations Brewing Company, Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness, Edward Jones Advisors, Ben Erlinson, Tom Albers, Brad Wilson, and Cam Heathcott, and Bubba's 33.
All right, let's go to the text line. Paul Catalina, Ryan Etheridge, Jacob Wilson. The seventh circle of hell on the day. No, but it's a great day for Baylor, 69-10. Matt in D.C., great win, but take the points at the end of the half. Glad Shapen scored, but take the three. Matt in D.C. Here's what I say, Matt. I disagree with you. You're not going to have many opportunities to practice that situation.
Yep.
And that's what that was. They were seeing what they could do in a game situation like that where there's actual stakes, and it worked out for them. So, yeah, they were up by plenty. They're not like if next week against BYU, same situation, 1 second left at the 1 yard line, they might still go for it because that's kind of what they do.
Yep.
But I do think they'd probably kick it based on the game situation.
If you're 28-7 against BYU with 1 second to go in the second quarter, you're going for it.
Yeah. But if it's 14-7, you're going to kick it.
You're going to kick that field goal.
So, yeah, if they're up 28-7 right before halftime against BYU, things have gone really well in Provo.
Correct, and the Baylor faithful, and there's a lot of Baylor people going out to this game. I mean, the Baylor faithful will be ecstatic, and many were here at the end of it. That is going to be a good offensive game. I'm ready to go see it. I'm still worried a little bit about the altitude of everybody acclimating to it, but I don't think BYU has the athletes that Baylor has.
Yeah.
They have some really good guys. I mean, the wide receiver, Nakua. That guy's a stud.
The quarterback Hall's really good.
Really good.
I think we'll see how much the home field advantage is worth for them there.
Yes.
Because I do think that and look, they traveled really well here last year, but I do think that there was about a 17-point swing. I don't think it was a 17-point advantage, but there was a 17-point swing that happened in the game here last year that I think happened because it was at home. At Provo, that doesn't probably happen that way. And Baylor had that great – the third quarter for Baylor was just perfect last year. And so we'll see.
I think that's going to be – it could be one of the more watched games next week. I'm not sure who if they're – they're up against nobody in that time zone. In that slot. So that should be the top-rated slot of that. That game of that slot against and you're going to be two ranked teams. Does anybody care about the Pac-12 teams looking at what they're happening to them right now? Oregon State's out here though putting a stomping on somebody on Boise 17-0, which is I think
congrats
Oregon State. Go ahead and win.
I think Andy Alvarez has to kind of hit the accelerator there a little bit. Now they might let him go on this one, but. All right, from the 917, was impressed by Albany's QB, all things considered, and their big tight end wide receiver. That dude should hit the portal up a division. BU showed plenty to improve on, but overall great. SicEm in Provo. Look, the best player that Albany had last year is on Florida State now, and Jared Verse. So
no, that defensive end they had was Lang. He was a solid player.
But Jared Verse, who went to Florida State, was at Albany last year, and it's because he showed up at Albany, a lanky kid that could run a little bit, and then discovered protein shakes in the weight room, and they're like, we can't. They're holding him like a baby bird, not so hard that they crushed him, and not so bad that he flew away, and then he got out of the nest. But
Greeny there was the tight end, 3 catches, 57 yards. He had a good one, and that's something that that's the one thing I worry about against BYU is when they go and play and have the wide receivers that they have and the quarterback they have, if they can pick on the less experienced secondary of Baylor. That was been my biggest worry against for Baylor the entire season is just that inexperience. And so I'm not worried about the D-line. Not worried about the linebackers, not worried about the O-line, not worried about the running backs or the wide receivers or the quarterback. My concern in going into BYU is the secondary. They picked on the secondary last year. They could pick on them again this year. And, I'm just ready to get on the road and go out there and spend some time in Salt Lake and Provo and all the other national parks we're going to see along the way. And, yeah, going to be a good time.
Yeah. All right. I think that's about it. I think that's all we got. What do you say, Brian? Biggest upset of the day got to be Utah, right? Or Florida beating Utah?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
even in the
that's
swamp.
what I'm saying. The Pac-12 is having a horrible weekend. I mean, TCU just waffle stomped Colorado last night.
I mean,
Utah 7 goes down to Florida, Florida's unranked, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think the worst day, though, has to be Iowa, who scored 7 points but didn't score a touchdown.
Wow.
Two safeties in the second half. And if without those two safeties, it's a 3-3 game going in overtime against South Dakota State. That's a rough day.
That's an interesting score.
Yeah.
I missed that one. Sorry, I was serving brisket, pork butt, and pork tenderloin all day, and I missed most of the game. So
yeah. We'll be back on Monday, and I promise all the equipment will work then.
Yeah.
That's what I do. So I can make promises like that because I'm not the one who has to fix it.
First day of the CW show.
Yeah, it was great. It's going to be great. Yeah, so we'll also have the 1 hour SicEm365 Sports Tonight or Sports Tonight with SicEm365. I'm sorry. So we'll have that on Monday, and yeah, I'm
gonna go drink a whole lot of Three Nations beer here. I'm not drinking it while I drive. Was just gonna say that for Three Nations, but no, I've got 3 cases in the back of the truck right now, and that's going in the cooler. And when I get home, they're gonna pop a few open, and then tomorrow for my birthday, I'm gonna have a few more. So go pick some up at the pick some up at the grocery store.
Thank you to all of you who watched on YouTube and bore with us today. It was we were on the struggle bus, but it's okay. You live to play another down all the time. This is SicEm365 Radio 365 Sports. Thanks to Jacob Wilson. Have a great night. Have a safe weekend, everybody. Happy Labor Day.
Cars priced right both day and night. Average your car in Texas. Trucks built for you, red, white, and blue. Average your car in Texas. Cars that zoom with lots of room. Average your car in Texas. Count on us, a dealer to trust. Average your car in Waco, Texas.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Ben Erlinson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, knows that his most important goals are yours. That's why he takes the time to understand your needs, knowing you. That's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Ben Erlinson, 100 North 6th Street in Waco, 254-759-8533. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Pizza, burgers, and Bears football. There's no place around Waco that serves them all other than Bubba's 33. Come show your green and gold and enjoy some of Waco's best food and beverages while watching your favorite team, the Bears. When real Bears fans get hungry, Bubba's 33 is the #1 spot for ice-cold drinks, hand-stretched, stone-baked pizzas, and bacon-infused burgers. Join us for indoor or patio dining. Bubba's 33, Waco's restaurant and proud supporter of Baylor Bears football. Sick 'em, Bears.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texas are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB Your Bank for Life. Member FDIC.
This is the Baylor Postgame Show on SicEm365 Radio. Brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, TFNB, your bank for life, Richard Carr Buick GMC Cadillac, Three Nations Brewing Company, Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness, Edward Jones Advisors, Ben Erlinson, Tom Albers, Brad Wilson, and Cam Heathcott, and Bubba's 33.